So just wanted to do a quick video and discuss the facts about the spiritual path. And as you wake up, when you wake up and you become more conscious that you've got a spiritual path. There's so many people, like I feel like there's so many people waking up now, which is brilliant. It's great. So many more people are becoming conscious and realizing there is just so much more than just their work, rest, sleep, repeat syndrome, that reality. And once you know and you have a sense and you feel and you can feel that you're an eternal being and there is something greater than yourself that you're connected to, it doesn't matter what you want to call it, whether you want to call it God or you want to call it the source, or you have this connection and you understand that you're on this spiritual journey, then it really is time to start investigating more and doing more in respect to evolving your spirit and evolving your soul. Now this is where it gets really tricky for a lot of souls, because there's so much information out there and there's so much disinformation out there. We live in a duality reality timeline, and we are multi-dimensional beings, and it's a multi-dimensional universe that we live in. And you start to realize that when you become more spiritual and you're on your spiritual path. So not all the information that is given and comes through is light, of loving heart space light for your highest good. And that's where I think it's really important to be in discernment. And I'm not saying, and most people, most channeled information that's coming through, it's loving, but it's loving light, and there's aspects of light in it, and there's aspects of a bit of control, bit of fear in it as well. And that's where I'm saying that you need to really come back into you and your heart and your intuition and to your own knowing, because all the knowing is locked within you. We all know. We all have this knowing locked within us. So I'm very much stressing to people to trust and be in discernment, and to come into their own and be their own guru and be their own empowerment, and to be careful what you listen to, because it's not all black and white where you can easily see that this is the dark and this is the light and this is the way you should be following, because there's information coming channeled through from all sorts of sources and all sorts of beings right now, and it's a huge game. We live in a huge game, reality, matrix timeline of duality reality, and that duality reality is in all the dimensions, going up all different levels. So into the 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th, 10th, 9th reality. And they do believe they're delivering love and light. Absolutely they do. And yes, they are. But some of the information can be tainted, and some of it, that's where you've got to really trust in your own discernment. That's why it's really important for you to have your own connection, for you to go within and not be always listening to others. So if you are going to listen to others and listen to others' channeled work, then great, sure, absolutely. Do that for your own growth, but do it with discernment, and do it with trusting your own inner higher self, your own guide. because otherwise we can get lost in following other people, and that's not what we came here to do. We came here to be empowered beings and to empower ourselves and be our own master self, because everybody has got the keys within them. So the questions so how do we do that? And we do that by trusting ourselves. Trusting ourselves first, connecting with our higher selves, and following our own intuition. And lots of people think, oh God, how do I do that? Do I go, do I go and see a clairvoyant? It's not going and seeing a clairvoyant, because yeah, you can do that, but that's not trusting your own inner self. And lots of people hate meditation. I understand that, or don't have the time, or don't take the time, but it really is going into your own inner self, and that does require your own reflection, or quiet time, or walking in nature. And yes, you can call it meditation. You don't have to sit cross-legged on a rock to do it, but it is having your own quiet time and reflection. Another great way to do it is having sessions, having regression sessions, and doing the inner work. And that having a regression session, a soul regression session, can be sometimes connecting with past lives, doesn't always have to be, can be between lives, but what a lot of it does, it helps expand your spiritual growth by connecting with your higher self. And that's really powerful, because that gives you the first-hand knowing and first-hand trust that what it feels like to connect with your higher self, and it gives you direct communication with Source, God, or whoever you want to call it. But that's really powerful. That's really powerful. Then you start to trust yourself and have the knowing. So that's first. That would be first. Second is discernment. Yes, discernment is you listen to the other works and read other works and gather your knowledge, but do it with discernment. Do it with your connection of knowing yourself and your own intuition, and not be wavering. If you find yourself you're wavering to or through and flicking from different videos and going to different books and following this, going to do that workshop and going and following this, you're gathering information. That's great. Gather and sift. That's what you want to be doing. Gather and sift, but make sure you're allowing time to come into you, to come back and center yourself, to get it, to trusting the information is resonating with you. That's really important. Just don't, there's so much noise out there and so much disinformation at the moment. There's some really good information, but there's so much disinformation as well. It should be about empowering you, coming back into yourself. That's what's really important. 2, what's really important is your intention. Your intention to trust yourself and know that you have all the power and all the knowing. And I'll talk more on that at a later date. But having the intention, putting the intention out, that you, by starting to put the intention out, it is stating to the universe that you are an empowered individual, and you understand that you are. You understand that you're a creator. So you've got to put the intention out when you do your meditation, when you walk in nature, when you connect to your inner self. Just don't wait for the images to come, because they're not going to come. You've got to set the intention and set the boundaries that you want to connect, and you want connection, and you want guidance, and you want to connect to your higher self, and you want to connect with Source, God, Creator, whatever, angels, guides, whatever it is. But you've got to set the intention, because without setting the intention, the information doesn't come through, because this is free will. We live in a free will reality timeline, and that's another reason why when you're following blindly channeled information and information from other sources without trusting your own, that's you're following blindly and committing your intention to that work. Do you see what I mean? Like you're committing your intention, you're watching and trusting without your own intuition. So it's really important your own intuition comes into play. It's so important to come back into self. Number 5 point that's really, really important is to clean and clear. Clean and clear your energy on a regular basis, just like you have a shower. So it's to get into a routine. It's to get into a routine to nurture yourself, to go walk on the beach, to clean and clear. It's to ground yourself, to ground your energy, to walk barefoot in the sand, on the grass, whatever. Sit under a bloody tree, sit on the ground, whatever it is you need to do. And yeah, lots of people are doing that, and they understand that they feel good from doing it, and understand that they're getting good charge and they're getting recharged. You are getting recharged. You're connecting with Gaia. You're recharging your energy. That's cleaning and that's clearing your energy field on ethereal level as well. So that's really powerful. So you need to do that. Get in a routine to do that. To separate from technology, to separate from the noise and other people, to take time to be alone and be in nature is a really good way of cleaning and clearing your energy field. And also to create a routine, to even take 5 minutes in the morning when you wake up, or before you go to sleep, or when you have a shower, to clear your own energy field. Be conscious. Realize you've got an energy field. Realize you've got chakras that need to be cleared. Realize that you have an astral body, an ethereal astral body. Yes, you're a multi-dimensional being. You've got this flesh and blood body. You've got the mental body, you've got the emotional body, and you've got the ethereal body. So start working on those other planes, and that will help empower yourself. So we do things for the physical body every day. We feed it, we nurture it, we hopefully put in good things into it, and we exercise and all that, and we spend time with our friends, and we love and all that kind of stuff. Clear the mind, clear the mental mind, start clearing some of the emotional stuff, and you will shift some of the damage that was done. If you start clearing some of the emotional stuff, it will help you clear and shift some fears. We'll start shifting some emotional stuff that's hidden away. It's all a work in process, and unfortunately this is what we came here to do. This is what happens when you wake up. When you wake up, you're meant to clear shit. You're meant to come to terms, and you're meant to start the process of forgiving, because when you love and can forgive honestly and truthfully and understand why you're here, that's when you start to make the shifts. So do some of that work, do some of that self-reflection work, that self-development work that most people hate, can't be bothered. Channeled works of Abraham Hicks is amazing. It's fantastic, puts you in a really positive place, but doesn't allow you to go into your story. It's important to not stay in the story and just drop the story, but it is important to process the shit. It really is. It's important to process some of the stuff and move out of it, and send love and forgiveness, because if you don't do that, you don't shift, you don't grow, you don't evolve. So it is important to do the work. And then number 6, and I may have forgotten some things, but number 6 is really important, to be in the allowing, to get into the flow and the allowing. And lots of people just jump from when it comes to manifestation and stuff, they put their intention out and they think they're in the flow and they're bringing positive stuff to them, but you can't bring all positive to you if you are hiding within your energy field things that need to be cleared. That might be to do with fear or shame or guilt or resentment that you haven't processed. So you've got to, that's the part of powerful empowerment and manifesting, is clearing that stuff. And that's what we came here to do. And then, yes, walk in the flow and the allowing and get out of control of everything, because you can't control everything. If you find yourself, especially if you've been a parent and you're always doing and you're always directing and you're always controlling, you can't always be. You've got to start being in the allowing and the receiving. So that really is the process of our spiritual path. And there's, you know, there really is different levels of the awakening. You know, there's the level of, oh yeah, I realize there's something more, and I'm on my law of attraction path, and I want to manifest more money, and I want to do more stuff. But there's so much more to it. You know, when you really start to realize we live in a multi-dimensional duality matrix timeline that is pulling us in all sorts of directions, that's when you really start to take your power back and start to empower yourself, and you become the empowered conscious being, which is what we're meant to do. We're meant to be the guru. We're meant to unlock all the wisdom within inside ourselves, and that's really powerful. And you can start to do that definitely with, you know, going and having healings and things like that, going and have Reiki sessions and all that. That's really powerful. But don't hand over your power to somebody else when you're having these sessions. You can't expect somebody else to heal you. You've got to be the one in control and be the empowered being. And one of the most powerful processes I've really learned of just recently is the soul regression. It really is. Because it allows you to connect to your own higher power, your own source, or your higher self, or your guides, or your angels, whatever. It doesn't matter what it is, but it allows to connect to your own higher power, master self, and that's really powerful. It's nobody else's, it's yours. And that's where all the truth is. That's where your past, you know, your past lives have had, you know, you've had so many past lives, and so many, the people in your life right now are part of your soul family of other lifetimes you've led. So why do you have these connections now? Are you learning the lessons? It's all part of the journey. That's spiritual awakening. That's really being a spiritual being and being spiritually conscious. So yeah, I'm going to leave it there now because I think I've said enough. And sending my heartfelt love and light out to you all. Namaste. I hope this resonates. I hope this resonates with whoever it needs to, and I'm able to spread this message because that's what I came here to do.